When you hear the phrase change your life, it kind of conjures up images of Rocky doing the motivational montage where he's in a hoodie, running up the stairs, pounding the raw egg smoothie, and transforming himself through sheer tenacity, willpower, and intensity. I said enough, and I turned everything around overnight. It's very extreme, and I think that that can be a good approach for some people, but when you look at the numbers, how 80% of people starting New Year's resolutions are off by the second week of February because they're going from that intensity camp. What's better is sustainability. And if you want to change your life in some way, big or small, look no further than implementing some small habits into your daily routines. Here's 5 of my personal favorites. Think of your brain like a giant computer that has RAM, or operating power. If I have my computer right here and it has like 20 tabs open or 5 applications running in the background, the whole thing slows down, doesn't it? Even though we're not using them, they're still there. Your brain works the same way. All these tasks on your to-do list and do it later, and oh, I have to reply to that person, and wait, did I send that message back? Did I pay that bill? That's tabs in the background eating up so much of your headspace. This habit really helped me, and I know it'll help you as well. It's called one-touching. Very simple. If a task takes less than 2 minutes for you to do it now. The dirty dish that you could wash real quick, do it now. Replying to someone real quick, do it now. Taking out the trash, paying bills, putting something on your calendar. One touching. One touching has a cool benefit that you're only doing something once. And most of us do things 2, 3, 4 times. Getting an email, opening it and reading it, marking it as unread, opening it again, replying. That's like 5 different touches on one task that if you just opened it and replied, that's one. You'll be amazed at how much more energy and time you actually get back just doing things once instead of 5 different times. You ever have moments in your day where you feel lethargic, tired, and it doesn't matter how much sleep you got, 6, 7, 8 hours, you're eating right, but you're still just like tired, maybe you have brain fog, coffee doesn't hit the same. This next point will definitely help. And it's very easy, it's free, it's something you can do anytime, anywhere. I was listening to a podcast the other day by Dr. Andrew Huberman, who's talking about a pattern of breathing that kids do when they're crying and they're trying to calm themselves down. Dogs will do this when they're in deep sleep. It's sort of a breathing cadence. Double inhales followed by an exhale. Looks something like... So you breathe in, you sneak a little more air in at the top, and then you release. When they study this in his lab, he says that just 2, 3 of those breaths makes people more alert and decreases their stress level. They're more present. Also says it offloads CO2 rapidly. That double inhale is flooding your system with oxygen. Makes you more alert. Snap out of the brain fog, baby. Maybe you have a phone call or a Zoom meeting you're dreading. Just take a few deep breaths. Watch yourself start to calm down a bit. Be more engaged and perform better. You can also use breathwork as a form of meditation. And in that way, you can get high on your own supply. Whether it shows up as anxiety or you hear terms like I burnt stimulation. You know how crazy it is that we live in a world where you can go on your phone for an hour and see minimum 60 pieces of different content and different styles, people telling you what to do, and you're just scrolling. The hypnotic trance-like state it pulls us in. And even on our off days where we're trying to recharge or vacation, people are still just plugged in, just so stimulated. No judgment here. It's something we all can get better at. But what I've found here for this next habit that's really helped me, I call it boredom hours. Intentionally being bored. We think of boredom as a negative thing. Like, oh, I'm so bored, it's so negative. But flipping the vibe of boredom to actually being a recharge and a positive. Trying to not cram every dull hour of the day with just another piece of entertainment, content, stimulation. I found a lot of peace from it. I believe that anxiety is moving very fast and frantically. It's your mind racing a mile a minute. People wonder why they have a new sense of anxiety. And it's like literally your screen time says 6 hours of TikTok. You're slamming 800 milligrams of caffeine. You barely sleep. And every single moment of the day, you don't even take a breather. You're eating a meal, watching like 20 different TikToks, push notifications from every single app. Even when you watch Netflix, you have something on your phone pulled up at the same time. Let's be real. Boredom hours give you a time to spend with you. And I think that a lot of people are just consuming other people's thoughts all day, and they wonder why they feel lost, or maybe like they don't know themselves or they don't love themselves. And I think it's deeper than just, oh, I'm overstimulated with TikToks or short content. but it's that you don't spend any time with yourself alone. You're always with someone else, virtually, right? Even if you're alone, you're spending time with other people in a one-way conversation where you're the observer. These boredom hours take time for you. And that might be uncomfortable at first. That might feel awkward, but there's a get to know yourself type of process that has to occur for you to be comfortable. Being more bored, try it out. You're probably aware that if you take two groups, one with goals and one without, the group that sets goals in general gets more stuff done. Chances are if you're watching this, you probably do that already. There's a major flaw with how most people set goals. And if you make this mistake, goals can have a tendency to work against you and demotivate you instead of what they're supposed to be for, motivating. The problem with how most people set goals is that it's all or nothing. It's either 100% you hit it or it's 0% you didn't. And also the process of moving towards your goal, you're just always not there, not there, not there. This habit is on chunking. And this is a much better thing to incorporate with your goals. Instead of the target being far away and you moving towards it, you set mini targets along the way. When you think about losing 20 pounds, it's not that you lose 20 pounds overnight. You'll lose 5, then 10, then 15, eventually 20. In the case of a YouTube channel, when I was building this, I didn't just say I wanted to hit 100,000 subscribers. I literally drew it out on a chart. Okay, when I hit 1,000, and then 5, and then 10, 25, 75. So all along the way, I got things to check off, and it made it fun and exciting. Felt like I was leveling up, progressing. How can you take your big thing that you want and chunk it down into like 3, 4 smaller goals that, if done correctly, will stair-step you towards your big one? Because if things seem too far away, you're gonna procrastinate way more. 10 out of 10 would recommend chunking down your big tasks into a few more manageable small ones. You ever heard that famous phrase that I believe came out on a TED Talk? Sitting is the new smoking. Every time I see the numbers, it literally makes me want to stand up out of my seat. In 2019, the Mayo Clinic did a study. They found that people who sit for more than 8 hours a day with no physical activity have the same risk of death and disease as people who smoke and are obese. So for our next habit, so that you don't die, movement. Move it or lose it, baby. Now, movement doesn't have to be some massive hour-and-a-half long bodybuilding workout where you go into the gym and you blast hard style lifting max deadlifts. Incorporating just a few minutes of activity throughout the day can have huge benefits in your physical health, but also your mental and emotional well-being. One of the habits that I've done and kept up for a long time is taking a long walk on my green belt. Another way I incorporated movement is getting a standing desk. You don't have to stand all day, but even just a couple hours. I also got a mini trampoline. I've always wanted one. I think it was like way too much money. I think it was $1,200, but I got the best mini trampoline money could buy. 10 minutes on that thing gets the blood flowing and you feel on fire. Working out for the sake of energy and mental clarity has been really useful. And getting up and moving, I've found a massive increase in my mood, my mental clarity, and just my energy throughout the day. Definitely worth not skipping this habit, and do with it what you will.